aka DJ Protocol 42.
That was a really cool reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like I was
I
like, all right,
know.
I respect it.
Most time travel movies or space movies always throw in a little bit of that number 42 in there. I think like Lost throws in the number 42, Aliens throws in the number 42. You see it in a bunch of movies, so it pops up every now and then. Very special number for people.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Well, listen, we gotta introduce you to our homie Toyin. Toyin, welcome.
Welcome
Hey.
back.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you. We had Toyin on our episode a long time ago when we did an anime episode, and
Yes.
we've been on her podcast, Religiously Nerdy, a few times, so that was fun too. And I also got to meet her in Chicago.
Yeah, that was nice. To
Yeah,
finally see you.
that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. So Toyin was in the comments in the last few weeks, and we're like, we gotta have her back on. So
Nice.
I was tweeting a little bit about it. I feel a certain kind of way about this episode. A lot of people do not agree with me, which is fair. I love the challenge. Maybe you guys will change my mind. But yes, we will talk about this episode. So basically, a lot of the people who got to see streamers got to see up to the first 4 episodes.
Oh, that's like the whole show.
I know, it's almost a whole show. I'm so
Like,
surprised.
yeah.
So a lot of people knew what was going to happen, and they had to kind of just like keep it to themselves. And now
Mhm.
everyone's kind of in the same boat. No one knows what's going to happen on the last
Wow.
2 episodes.
Mhm.
So because of that, I know it's a lot of fun. But you know, the show is a little chaotic for me at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. The entire thing is just we got to save the TVA, and I'm
A
like
lot
thinking
happened.
a lot. Yeah, like so
Like
much is
too
going
much
on.
happened in the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it, man. Let's dive in. The intro, this one was really different. It reminded me of a lot of Doctor Who. I was surprised that we didn't see the Doctor Who music and the TARDIS inside the loom. I thought that would have been funny. And then you hear some like background noises and stuff. We don't know what they are, but Miss Minutes at the end of the last episode, what she does is she tells Ravonna, hey, I know a secret. And when you find out, you're going to be pissed. And we find out that the secret is that he erased her memory. Not only was she part of his army, but she was like leading his army. She was leading troops. She was, the HBIC, man, I would say. What were your thoughts about learning that about Ravonna and the fact that she got her memory wiped? Toyin, what are your thoughts?
So I was not surprised that that was her past because they kind of were hinting at it like the whole
Yeah.
time. Like I thought the recorder, like, oh, you're a Marvel or something. Like that was like in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that like the plan, like when they went to get Victor Timely, like that was part of that was like a backup plan, right? For her to
Mhm.
like again rule with him. So I wasn't really surprised actually. But it is like, okay, finally see what her life was before she's like like before her TVA new
Yeah. Before she
new
became a
job.
judge. Yeah.
Yeah.
How you go from a commander to a judge?
Honestly, because like then do you think that like everyone working TVA basically were in his army then? Like
that could
that
be.
could be it too. Like it could be
Yeah.
more than just like variants taken from timelines. They could have all
That's
had
more or less confirmed that
basically
everybody at the TVA was part of the army that defeated the
Basically.
multiverse or the Kang multiverse war, and they all have their memories wiped. And this is why there's a reason behind it, and I kind of get it. Like if they
Yeah.
all kept their memories, it would be harder to run the TVA because then we end up with a lot of other agents like X5 who'd be like, no, I want to go back to my life. I want to go back to my family.
Exactly.
So
That's the
him
point.
erasing everybody's mind was like, yes, we're gonna do this. It's gonna suck. And
So even poor little Casey was out there in the army, just like fighting dudes and shit.
hold up, don't you dare sleep on Casey. All right, he was a warrior.
Didn't even know what a fish was.
Maybe that was erased from his memory too.
Yeah, maybe. Moby's out there slinging like harpoons at motherfuckers on his jet ski. We don't know what. We don't know what it would be. Miss Minutes is the HR director. All right, listen. Check out my hat. My hat, right? It says Loki right here. Hold on, I'm gonna switch it.
Oh, that's nice.
Look,
Oh,
I got a
nice.
Miss Minutes hat.
God
What's
damn it,
up?
you're
Yeah, that's
HR.
cool.
Yeah.
Narc.
Wait. But listen, I think a few episodes ago, I was like, hey, somebody in our comment section, we're gonna give away this hat. And Toyin, you were in that comment section.
Yes, I was. Do I get this hat?
You get your own hat. I got a special hat just for you. So send us your address and we will mail it to you.
Awesome! I'm so glad. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. You get your own Miss Minutes hat.
Awesome. Because
Yeah,
I low key she's evil, but like she's cute too. Like I don't know, like a cute something to have, like a
Yeah.
figure or something would be nice.
I like how Miss Minutes and Ravona had a Brandy and Monica, the boy is mine moment where they kind of just like, we don't need him. We never did.
Yeah.
That's a 90s R&B reference. I don't know if you youngins get that.
No. I got that reference.
Okay. Oh man. So yeah. Renslayer won the war for him, and he remains decided to basically erase her memory. Now we see Victor Timely in the timeline, and Mobius, and I would say Loki and everyone else is trying to get him to, kind of help out a little bit. And he's like, listen, I'm from Chicago. I don't trust you motherfuckers.
Yes.
which I thought that was funny. I don't know what he said, like shadyocracy. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
shadeocracy.
yeah. I don't know what the hell that is, but I thought it was pretty funny. He's like, we in Chicago don't trust you people, which is really interesting because a lot of people don't know, like, it's the name the Windy City, which actually isn't about the weather. It's about their politicians and how they're full of hot air.
Oh, really?
Oh, I thought it was an actual politician named Windy.
Oh,
No. The Windy City is like how the other states were like, oh, they're all full of hot air, or they're always blowing wind. So it's an actual political term and not actually a weather term. But it makes more sense with the weather because it's so damn windy there. But
it's both. Like it fits well.
or maybe if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, just like the TVA.
It's
Could
like
be one of
OB
those.
and
Yeah.
and
OB's
Timely.
Obi's name is basically a snake that eats his own tail.
Yep.
And literally, when he meets Victor Timely, they really don't know who influenced who. And it's just like a snake eating its own tail, which is Ouroboros is what it is. And that's Obi's name, which is, it's so confusing. But yeah.
You just have to leave it as that.
Yeah. I thought that was really, really cool.
The comments are fire.
All right, let's go to the comments.
Oh,
A
yeah.
woman did all the work and the man took all the credit. God
Basically.
damn.
Yes.
Yo, that's so funny and so accurate.
No.
Ravonna does not want to bend the knee.
Neither does Miss Minutes. She doesn't want to bend her knees either.
And Bravo one was like, it's Spider-Man pointing me when they both see each other, like, hey.
Oh yeah, that's so true. That's hilarious. These are great comments, man. Shout out to people in the comments: Brown Boy Wonder, Parmesan Man, Toby, everyone else who's on here. These are some great stuff. Yeah, and then my favorite part is when
One more.
one more. Whenever Ravona's fed up. Oh man, that's funny. The other thing I thought was really funny where Obi's like, yeah, until somebody killed he who remains and made my life miserable. and
he like pauses, looks up, somebody.
Sylvie's just there like, what are you gonna do?
She was like smiling. She was like, like all proud of herself. Like, yeah, I did it.
I mean, it
was
is all her,
great.
it is all her fault. All of
Right?
it is her fault.
She's like, and what? And I'll do it again, bitches.
Quite literally, she would do it again.
She would, right? Oh man, I thought that was really, really funny. Yeah, and then they talk about like who is going to get in that suit and have to hoof it to do this like whole thing, which I thought was really funny. And then Mobius was like, "All right, Loki, it's your turn." He's like, "I did it last time."
It's true. It's fair. I think
Yeah.
that's a fair like way to decide things.
I think so too. I think Mobius put in a good amount. I think he's off the hook. He almost had his skin boiled off.
I just love the miniature like replica of the thing. Like, oh, I made these figures too, and all of that. Like, he's such a nerd. Oh my gosh, I love
Yeah,
that.
and he's like, guys, it's not to scale. I'm so embarrassed. Oh no, Victor Timely's here. He's gonna see me not putting all my effort
Yeah.
out.
It was only a couple of coats of paint. Like I didn't get to finish. Like,
I know. He's got like a sign there on the back that says "not to scale." It's just, he's so adorable.
I love it. Yeah.
We love him. Oh my god, I thought that was funny. And then Mobius is like, all right, let's go get some cake. And Sylvie gets really mad at him and gives him this whole speech. She gets into her Karen mode and gives him this whole speech about like, you don't even care about who you used to be and all of this stuff. And Mobius just sat there and took it. And what I really like about the scene is that everything is black, so you only see his face. So as she says every single line, you see him like register everything she's saying, and you can see it in his face. And Owen Wilson does such an amazing job acting in that scene. I really, really love that. Jazz, any thoughts on Sylvie's speech?
it was a good speech.
Yeah. Torian, what about you?
And like,
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
She basically gave it to him. And then we have Brad and Doc, and they're in there and they're talking about like stuff, and he's like trying to pretend like they don't know that he left his post and trying to become an actor. He's like, oh shit, y'all know about that?
Like everyone knows. Like
Yeah.
it was so great. He was like, "Oh well, mea culpa.
Yeah.
Like no big deal."
Like we know you sold us out, you motherfucker. Which is kind of foreshadowing him selling them out again in the future.
literally, I'm like that's like what one of the things I don't really understand. Like why? Like does he really care about his life that much? I was kind of like, do you really like? I don't know. But again, I don't really know this character that well. So I don't know, like,
Though I do think the actor is doing a great job, but like I do
Yeah.
like think they didn't flesh out his character because like homie
They
just
didn't.
flips back and forth. Like
yeah.
you know, he's this like serious guy who really cares about his job and is by the book, and then he just leaves his job, and then when he gets interrogated, he doesn't want to give up the answer. But then he does give up the answers, and then he tries to go back to Doc and pretend like he never did. He's just all over the place. And then
Yeah.
when Sylvie, when Ravona and then Miss Minutes come there, he betrays them again, and he just, homie, these hoes ain't loyal, man. Like,
Yeah. Or maybe he just didn't want to die. Or maybe that was it.
yeah.
Or maybe that I don't know. But like it was kind of
Still
like
a coward.
yeah. Or yeah, he's or a classic textbook coward.
Yeah,
Just do whatever
absolutely.
it is to
Yeah.
stay alive
But
or whatever.
But I did like the fact that like after Sylvie yelled at him about getting cake, she ended up in the cake room,
Yeah.
the pie room or whatever.
Which brings us to Michael's comments. Who thinks the pie is a play on pi, like the mathematical term,
Oh.
which signifies circular nature of the TVA? Yes, I was gonna bring that up, but god damn it, MTF always beats me to it in the comments.
MTF is too good, man, too good.
Straight up.
And the room is a circle, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
That's cool.
I think
I
both
never
of them
thought about it
are.
that way.
Yeah. Someone says shout out to Owen Wilson for never getting a nose job. Stereo, bro. Okay.
I guess his nose was over. I don't know.
Yeah, I think. I love the fact that he in Zoolander is a model, even with the broken nose, and no one questions it. They're like, yep, we ride with that. I love that. All right. So Victor Timely is pretty scared at the moment, and he kind of just like is terrified, and he's helping Obi with all of these things, and then Sylvie and Loki have a conversation to where Loki decides to give her the plot of Thor 1. Loki just like bringing back the Avengers, bringing back Thor 1. He's going to bring up
remember. This is
Yeah,
a
he-
Loki show, I guess.
Yeah. And I don't know if this Loki has gone through the Dark World. Has he? He hasn't, right? I think the Dark World happened after.
No, it's just the first one in the Avengers. Because Dark World is where the
Yeah.
mother dies, and that didn't
Yeah, when
happen.
the mom dies. Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's seen it, but he didn't actually do it.
Lived through it. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was really, really funny. So he basically like recap both his like 2 episodes.
Basically.
What is going on in the
Wait,
comments?
why is there pie in the
Somebody just dropped pi, the numerical format, to like, I don't know, the billionth. Oh my god.
It was me.
That was
Jazz,
that
it was you. Stop. All right, all
Yes.
right.
I don't even know how many digits this was,
Yeah.
but there are a
love
lot of
it.
digits pie here.
All right, man. Stop this before Miss Mint comes in and starts harassing you.
Oh my
You're like,
god. Yeah.
y'all. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So Loki and Sylvie have a bit of a conversation where she's like, we got to do something. You can't just give people free will and walk away. And Sylvie's like, why not? She doesn't care if the TVA burns to the ground. And to be honest, girl, same. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Because, like, the other thing is, like, this show hasn't gotten us invested in the other timelines. Like, I don't know what's happening in the other timeline. There's no reason for me to be invested. There's one dude who works at McDonald's. I don't know. Maybe I feel a little bad for him. Outside of him, I don't give a fuck, man. Like, the X-Men world and all these other timelines are branching off and stuff like that. And they haven't really gotten us, like, invested in the other timeline. We haven't really stayed there. So, because of that, I feel a little disconnected. But also, like, Sylvie does not care. And Loki is like, listen, we have to do something. And she's like, we're not playing God. And he goes, we are gods. And it's so interesting because Loki would always say that in such a proud, boastful way and an arrogant way. And for the first time ever, we hear Loki say it in like a way that is truly burden with purpose, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's his thing, burdened with glorious purpose. He is no longer glorious to him, and that's when it's an actual burden. I thought that was phenomenal. I thought that was really, really good.
I mean, it's all their fault too. So it's kind of like, it's their responsibility in a way, because it's their fault that all this is
happening. Is their fault, man.
It's literally their fault.
she went all Karen and stabbed the human remains. After kissing her variant and kicking him out the time door. She is a wild card.
Like, it is, yeah. Maybe she should have been groomed at the beginning, but whatever.
Yeah, she's causing a lot of problems. But I did like his speech about, like, hope is what's hard, staying back and fixing.
Yeah. Here's the actual quote of it. Sure, burn it down, easy. Annihilating is easy. Raising things to the ground is easy. Trying to fix what's broken is hard. Hope is hard.
Such a powerful. That's a great quote.
It's so relevant to a lot of things in the world today too.
Literally, yeah. It's yeah.
It is very relevant. Yeah. Woo! All right, man. A lot of hope.
All right, but I won't touch that. No, but like, this is cool because like, in the past, Loki, with his relation to his family, he tried to take over the Earth in Avengers 1, make his own kingdom. He didn't really focus on mending or building back the bridges with his own family. And for him to say this now, it's like, okay, he grew up and he's helping Sylvie go through the same growth he went through. Yeah. But it's like, all right, I like this so much. This is cool.
And he definitely went through that growth because there are quotes from Loki where he goes like, freedom is the biggest lie you've ever been told, right? That's one of his lines that he said. And, to him, like, freedom begets racism and violence and all this stuff. He like, you guys are all better off just being subjugated to me. I'll make sure that doesn't happen. And like, I was like, sometimes I'm like, you know what, Loki?
Starting to make a little bit too much sense to me.
Maybe we should be subjugated. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if we humans can be trusted. But the other thing about him being gods is that in the MCU, at least in 616, they are not gods. They are just aliens that were confused to be gods. And that's a little blurry now because of Thor, Love and Thunder, because they had actual like Zeus and all these other gods in there. And now it's kind of like, what is going on? Are these actual gods? Are they aliens? Are they somewhere in between? Is God just a title? So it's really muddy, and I think that's what I don't really like about Thor: Love and Thunder. I feel like it really muddied that up. Like the Black Panther god and some of the other gods were like in physical form, in the wherever Zeus was and stuff, right? And they made them all comical and stuff like that. I don't know.
I'm upset. You missed my favorite one.
Which one?
The Carpenter god.
Oh,
Oh,
of course.
Of course.
I think in
Yeah,
like the MCU, I think God is more of a title than anything really,
yeah,
because they're all just like characters with
yeah.
certain levels of power. I think it's just that, to be honest.
I
And then they have
agree.
their own secret club because that's why not, the elites, right? So
Yeah, they're just the elites, exactly. All
yeah,
right, that's
I
how I
think that's
see it
how it
too.
works. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, someone says bring back Christian Bale in the MCU.
Oh my
Man,
god.
they did our boy Christian Bale really badly, man. Like that was oh man, so much potential. All right, back to the show. So Renslayer is in a dope new outfit. She looks good in her
Everyone
outfit.
just looked good this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, the fit, man. The fit is so good
It-
on this episode. Everyone's got great fit. And then Miss Minutes shows up too. And let's see what happens. Miss Minutes turns on the machine, and
that
we've
was
seen this
wild.
machine before. And she gets this like very gleeful look on her face when she turns it on. She's like, "All right."
Yeah.
She's legit a Chucky doll right now. Is what she reminds me of.
It was so
Right?
sadistic. I was like,
Oh my
oh
god.
no, this
Her
is
Then she,
not
face
cool.
and like everything.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, that whole
and
scene.
we've seen the box and what it does, and basically in another episode where you see X5 kind of like laying on the floor, you can see it's grated. So when all these people get squished in the box, you can hear like the blood and stuff dripping down the grate. It was horrifying. Obviously the Disney show, so they're not going to show it, and they
Like,
even the music like ramps up a little bit so you can't hear it that well. But you know what happened, and it's pretty horrifying. And when B15 walks in, I'm just like, damn, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough for a Disney show.
so
What were your
sad.
thoughts on that?
That was wild because she just had this conversation with them, leaves, and then next thing you know, all this happens. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
and she was going to get Docs to join us, and
Yeah,
Docs was considering it.
I
You
know.
know,
And then all of a sudden, it's like doesn't matter anymore.
doesn't matter. The other thing is, I never get to find out what the weird relationship between Docs and what you call it
Yeah, we
X5
don't.
was. They
Hmm.
had this like weird like relationship in the beginning, and now they just ignore that, and we're like, oh, okay, guess it was nothing. So I don't know. I was
Hmm.
hoping it was something weird, but yeah, man. So X5 goes with Renslayer, and they get Victor Timely. Victor Timely decides to get some hot cocoa, which they
It
call
was so
yeah,
wholesome and
they call it chocolate soup. I'm like, wait a second, let him cook, because like
He's not wrong.
it is chocolate
It's
soup.
hot liquid with like things floating, which would be the marshmallows. So by definition, it's a soup.
Yeah,
such a wholesome scene.
yeah.
The way this whole episode would creep in comedy and then horrors. Oh my gosh.
I just saw
This
that
comment
comment.
here.
It was a little bit of a time crunch. Oh, I'm referring to the boxes. Oh,
But yeah, like
man.
the way they like would have comedy and then like tragedy like right back to back. It's funny.
Yeah. Someone's asking if on this episode was there any mention of jet skis? No, there weren't. How is Brown
No.
Boy Wonder on our listening to our podcast but hasn't watched the show? We're like spoiling half the things for you.
I know, dude.
It's
But
probably
they
better
did
the way we do it.
hint about his life before his mind was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They keep asking that, and I think I'm thinking it's similar to, or maybe he was part of the army too or something.
He could
And
be. I
had
have
this
no idea what he
department.
was, but I'm very
Yeah.
curious. I'm very invested.
Oh, Owen Wilson. Sorry, what's his character's name? He's actually
Mobius.
part of the army. Mobius, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
So while Victor Timely is getting Coco and offering it to this agent, he gets stabbed in the back with the probe. R.I.P. to that guy. And
I mean,
then
they're all in the void, the end of time or whatever.
yeah,
Right?
and
So-
then the temp pads aren't working anymore, and everyone's trying to figure out why. And is this bitch right here, right, Miss Minutes? So Brad is out there, and he was the one who probed the guy with the hot chocolate, and they get Victor Timely, and they grab him. So then Loki has to go and then find them, and then they once they grab Victor Timely, The funniest thing is Miss Minutes and Ramona right there. He goes, "Thank God you're okay."
I laughed out loud. I was dying. I was like,
Good on him.
he's
you're
he's
okay.
like he didn't just betray them both. Like,
That was hilarious.
oh man, that was so funny. And then while this is happening, Loki and Sylvie get to this elevator, and Sylvie gets trapped in this elevator. And we're like, oh shit, this looks very familiar. And we see that this is what's happening in the
Yeah.
first episode. So this is a little bit of the bootstrap paradox, which we talked about earlier. So Loki realizes what's happening, where he's at. And then the Loki that was by the telephone shows up. Loki realizes he has a prone stick in his hand, and he prunes himself, right? Which sounds weird when you say it. You prune yourself. Like, haven't we all pruned ourselves? But yes, Loki did prune himself, which makes sense, and then it all made sense. And then we were all thinking about who's on the phone. It was just OB. We're like, okay, there were so many theories about who could be on the phone, but it just ended up being OB.
And it was funny when both of them like yell into the phone at the same time.
Oh my god! So they're like, yeah, we can restart everything, but if we do restart, it'll turn off the magic dampeners. And they're like, turn it off, so they can use magic. I thought that was really, really funny, and then as they do that, I think Sylvie enchants Brad again, and then Brad ends up pruning Ravona, and then she is gone. And then while that's happening, Miss Minutes is being rebooted, and that was a crazy scene where she just starts flipping out and becoming ones and zeros, and then I think she had an eye patch at one point.
Yeah.
Like, and then she says like the most baller thing I've ever heard her say. She goes like, "You'll never be him." And I was like, damn. Imagine someone like an ex saying that. Like that's just so good.
Ooh.
Dude.
And like the funny thing is,
You know what? Probably for the best.
And you know what? It reminds me of a meme. There's a very popular meme on TikTok where it goes like, "My pronouns are he, not him, because I can never be him." And that's what it reminded
Okay,
me of.
leave.
That's what it reminded me of. I thought that was really funny. I really love Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes is really, really funny in this episode. But yes, they come back. They get Victor, and they got to bring him to where the time thing is, because only his aura can get them through. And as they do that, they're all like, who's going to go through this? And Loki decides to man up and do it. But at the very end, Victor decides to go. Now, as Victor decides to go, he gets turned into spaghetti, which we see a lot of in Phase 5. We get to see it in Quantum Mania.
Madness, right?
Multiverse of Madness. We see it quite a bit. Lots of spaghetti here.
I was actually shocked. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
They didn't even take a step out. Like it didn't even like try. It's just gone.
Oh my god! I just saw this comment.
Are you serious?
I'm dying.
Someone wrote #he who lo mains. He who lo mains, yo.
That's wild.
This man is a menace. MTF, you are a menace. Kanguini.
Are you serious?
Oh man. These comments.
And it's so quick too. How do you glue them so quickly? Oh my gosh.
He's so good.
Yeah. Someone says another knows that you're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. That's also a very popular meme.
You're not that pal, buddy. I forgot the sequence, but yes.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, so they get magic in the TVA. Miss Marvel. Oh, the other thing is not Miss Marvel, but Miss Minutes. When she starts glitching, Victor Timmy's like, "Hey, you don't need to mock me," because Victor he stutters, which I thought is really, really funny. Oh man, it was really cool. All right, so Ravona gets prone, and Timely goes into the thing. He becomes spaghetti, and then the loom just gets bigger and bigger, and there's an explosion, and then everything goes black.
That's it.
And I was like, damn, usually like something happens, but no, everything went black.
Or
I
white
have
or
no idea. I have no idea what's gonna happen. So this
everything
ending,
went white.
yeah. So
Yeah.
like the thing is
So
like I like this episode. I just don't love this season. Is how
I
I
see.
feel. Like I feel
Hmm.
like this episode was good. It's pretty solid, but like every episode is just we gotta see the TVA. We gotta see the TVA. And it's not really progressing the bigger Marvel storyline of the multiverse, right? Whereas I feel
Hmm.
like the first uh season did. And there's still 2 episodes left. We don't know. It might just change things around. I could be completely off. I'm open to being that. But like right now, all they're doing every episode is saving the TVA. We got to find Loki, Sylvie to save the TVA. We got to find Timely to save the TVA. Now we got to find Miss Minutes to save the TVA. So like I'm like this season could have been an email. Like it's just like the
Yes.
season could have been an email. Just tell me how they save the TVA, right? Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. What are your thoughts? Because I know a lot of people feel very different than I do. What are your thoughts, Toyin?
So I'm thinking it's like these episodes they're trying to show you like basically there's like a power vacuum or whatever in the TVA. So like
Yeah,
you see all these different parties if they could like you see like B15, and then Loki or Sylvie or like who could, do this whole thing. Also with Miss Minutes and like her team. Like who which group might be able to succeed in this or whatever.
mm-hmm.
But it is kind of crazy because now, like, does it even matter anymore? I think everything is going to like reboot now. I guess I think that's what's going to happen right now. Like, all the timelines are going wild, right? I
Yeah,
think this is what happens. So I think the TVA is basically gone now. I think the whole building or whatever, and I guess it does have to like start over from scratch. I don't know, but yeah, I think the season so far is just it's them trying to save the timelines and also who's going to run the TV now. But then I guess
yeah,
all of that is kind of gone now. So we'll
yeah.
see. Yeah.
There's no TVAs. There's no boss. There's really nothing. Let's go to the comments. Some of the comments are like Michael should be the Salaam Nerds Hall of Fame. Yes, he is definitely Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. Um, M- and Michael said it was quite the untimely passing. Yes, it was. It was. It was giving Lost season 5 finale. I don't remember what the Lost season 5 finale
Mm.
was, but if it's the one that I'm thinking of, where there was the countdown clock and they had to, I don't know, switch the key or something, and I think Desmond doesn't do it, and then everything explodes. If that's the one you're thinking of, then yeah, I do agree. All right. Someone says they all end up in Valhalla, chilling with Heimdall. I don't know if that'll happen.
I mean,
Uh,
technically it's accurate. They're not
I
going to show
guess.
it, but he's right.
Yeah, it's true. All right, some people says I think they're going to return to their respective original timelines. That's possible. I could see that
Hmm.
happening.
I mean,
Even though some of them were pruned, maybe.
do you think the end of time still exists?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Miss Minutes and
Hmm.
Ramona Rensselaer were right there, and
Hmm.
they were looking at what's the name's dead body and going, "We
Hmm.
don't need him," which I personally think Miss Minutes is lying. I think she wants the D so bad that she
No,
that,
true. She wants a body. And I feel like he's the only one who can do that for her,
yeah.
right? So,
I I think she's playing Ramona. She's playing Ravona, and like she's still in love with He Who Remains. Whether it's for selfish reasons like getting a body, or whether she just wants to see, man. I don't know. She's a horny clock, man. I don't know what else to
really,
say. Yeah, yeah.
I do like
Was
this comment about the saving the soul of the TVA, and I think that's basically what it's about. Wasn't the episode called "The Heart of the TVA"? This episode,
Yep.
was that what it's called? Yeah.
yeah.
So
That was the title.
yeah,
It's
I think it's less about saving the TVA per se, but saving the soul of the TVA in terms of protecting all timelines without becoming a genocide engine they were before. They were quite a bit of a genocide engine, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll see what they want to do,
But
but
the
like,
thing is that isn't the whole reason why they had this thing is because there's too many evil kings. Like, we're
Yeah,
not just like, is this going to start the King Dynasty
that's
more?
that's what we think is going to happen, right? There's a movie in the works called Kang Dynasty, so we have to
Yeah.
assume that's what's going to happen. But like, I don't see Loki just sitting there behind the desk and being like middle management to like the TVA. Like, I don't. The God of Mischief is not going to be like, did you put in your TPS report? Like, I don't see that happening.
I mean, it's beautiful though.
Hmm.
If you
It
really
would
think
be
about it, the
ironic.
beauty of the mundane there, like he has so much purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
same with Sylvie just going to McDonald's. It's like, it's just,
That is true. That is true.
yeah.
Sylvie going to
Hmm.
McDonald's. The ore piece Victor made looked like the drive
Yes,
from
it
his
does.
Quantumania
I
ship.
thought of
Yes.
that. I was like, wait a minute.
That's very true. Great point. Great point. Yeah. And he just happened to have it with him. And he's like, yeah, I can make this happen. Let's go. Someone says, do you think Thor will show up in the finale? I do not. I don't
No.
think sure. I don't think there's any point to that.
Mhm.
I don't think it adds anything to it. Yeah, and this is still the part of the long con. Yeah, but who's doing the long con? Is it Miss Minutes or is it Victor Timely or is it the He Who Remain version of Victor Timely? Right? Whose long con is this? For me, I'd probably think like He Who Remains probably is the one who's doing all of this in depth. So we'll
Hmm.
see.
Mhm.
Let's see. Fantastic Four needs to tie in with this series. I think Fantastic Four will, because I think Fantastic Four and Kang are very much intertwined, especially with Kang being a descendant of Reed Richards. So I could see that happening.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a good question. Would you guys work for the TVA?
I think I would. I would work for the TVA.
It would depend on their benefits. Like,
Yeah, they look like they have good benefits. I feel okay. I would work for the TVA, but maybe like not. I mean, the whole mind wiping thing might be a bit much, but again, you do get like you don't have to worry about your past too much after, you could just do your job and stuff. But I do
yeah.
like, jumping through different timelines and going to the past and future. That's really cool.
I,
I
I,
would love to do that.
I want to know what other jobs are in the TVA because we have like the TVA people, but there's also like people outside of those buildings. There's like that lady driving a taxi in the beginning
Yeah, I
got
wonder.
Loki killed. What other jobs are there, right? That's what I want to know. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Or maybe like have a job like OB. Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah.
nerdy and cool.
I wonder if
Um,
the TVA have a union.
Obviously, they don't because it wouldn't matter.
they
That's
just
true.
erase the memories. The
Erase their
union never
memory.
happened.
Yeah. Oh, you want to unionize? Here, come here. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. Someone says the plan might have been to spread timely. Wait. Hold on.
Timely juice.
The timely juice across the timeline, throwing
Oh, because
spaghetti
he's
at the
all
loom to see
spaghetti.
what he sticks. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. He who remains said if you kill him, it'll start the war. A version of him would have to take over again, and he'll be right back there in season one finale. Yeah, I mean, and if that version is Victor Timely, we're just going around and around. So yeah, I don't see it. Carlos, he's in here too, and he says, hold on, what did he say? I'm really interested to see what exactly happened at the end, even though I haven't really been digging this season. Excited for a series reboot. I wonder if it'll be more like a series reboot because
I
I don't
think,
know if I see a season 3. I want
but I
something
think
like
there is a
finite.
season 3 in the works. I
Is
think.
there? Ah,
I think so. But again, who knows when that'll be out? Maybe another 2 years or something.
yeah. All right, cool. All right, let's do a few Easter eggs and then we'll wrap up this episode. So, one thing that I thought was really, really cool.
Wait. My
What?
theory.
Oh, what's your
We
theory?
are in Doctor Strange Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. This is the end where he's in the scene with Dormammu and he's in a time loop.
Yeah.
We're in a time loop.
Dormammu, I came to bargain. And just getting
Yes.
killed over and over again.
Yes, and this is
Yeah.
what's happening right here in the TVA. We're in a time loop again until they figure out the right time way to
Oh, I
fix
love
it.
that. It's like Groundhog
Mm.
Day, right? You have to
Yeah.
Like Groundhog Day, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just stretched out quite a bit. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, cool. Are we good to move on to some Easter eggs?
Yes.
All right. He Who Remains goes, see you soon in this episode, and that's also what he says to Sylvie as Sylvie kills him.
Oh
So
yes,
yeah,
yes, I remember that.
so he goes, see
Oh
you
my
soon,
gosh,
which I
I
thought
guess
was
he
really
just
really
he
cool. Yeah.
said.
Um, also, execute protocol 42 is very much like Order 66 vibes from Star Wars. And we already talked
Mm-hmm.
about how 52 is a popular
42.
reference. Yeah,
42.
sorry, 42 is a popular reference
Mhm.
for a lot of things, right? Uh, what you call it? It's Jackie Robinson's number, and then there's like time travel references, and there's space travel references.
Yeah, it's all over the
Lots of
place.
it's all over the place. Lots of cool stuff.
The meaning of
Um,
life, you know.
42.
yeah. Yes, yes, yes. So when Obi builds the scale and he's like, "Oh, by the way, it's not to scale, and I didn't put a fresh paint on it." That's a reference to Back to the Future when Doc Brown makes a scale and shows Marty McFly how they're going to use the DeLorean to go back in time to the
Mm-hmm.
present, and
Mhm.
then the way Owen Wilson goes, no, no, it's really good. Marty McFly goes, no, no, it's really good, Doc. So like, it's literally like an homage to that scene, which I thought was really,
That's
really
cool.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Hmm.
And then when someone goes into the time pad, and Miss Minute goes, don't think so, y'all. Like that's a reference to Jurassic Park. Wayne Knight's character on his computer,
Yep.
there was a little DNA thing, and he goes, So that was a little reference to Jurassic Park. Um, and let's see. Also, when Miss Minute starts flipping out, you can see like binary code on her, and you could also see like a DOS reboot, and you also see a little floppy disk. For some of you youngins, a floppy disk is what a real life save icon is.
Yeah.
The
You know,
save-
somebody 3D printed a save icon before. It was great.
yeah. Oh man, and I don't know. I haven't noticed this. All okay. So on the door, so you know that door that opens up like the X-Men door,
Hmm.
like it goes like
Yeah.
before they go into that room. There's
Oh,
a
it's
th-
here, right?
th- yeah, there's a note on it, and that note says all M are brothers. So a reference to mutants, maybe. All mutants are brothers.
That's cool.
Mm.
That was some cool stuff. I was like, oh shit. So those are some fun Easter eggs that I found scouring a bunch of other websites. But yes, and then let's
So there's something I liked about the episode I didn't talk about. Like when
Sure.
Timely like enters through the portal, like when he first goes into the TVA, like how he sees in front of like his like statues
yeah.
or like
And the
things. That
mural,
was a
yeah.
really cool scene. That was like really
Yeah.
cool. He like
Oh,
walks in, he's in front of like in the war room, right? And
yeah.
that was cool.
I thought that's cool. And then the scene where like Miss Minute starts like fidgeting and like rebooting. When she goes away, all you see is He Who Remains face. So like she was in front of him, symbolizing
Oh,
she was trying
nice.
to be the person to take over.
Wait, not
Uh,
then I can't. Hmm.
yeah. And I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Any more comments that we want to go over before we wrap this up? Oh, she said. Someone said Miss Minutes was giving "It's a Sad Mac" reboot screen. That was really really funny.
Okay.
Oh, and someone says that was also the graffiti in the '70s London scene. Oh, interesting. Very cool.
I did not know that. Yeah, that's cool.
Wow, interesting. Very, very cool. All right, guys, that's the end of this episode. Like I said, I like this episode a lot, but the whole season is still, I don't know, not as interesting as to me. I think the first season was great because we had to I was like, oh man, we got to find out who this variant is. Who is this variant? And it ends up being Sylvie. And then we're like, okay, what's up with Sylvie and Loki and their character development? And then we
The
had
little romance.
I
The
do
romance.
agree. I do
And then-
agree with
yeah.
season one being like I was way into season one. Every end of each episode, it was like, what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
Like,
And like the way it used to end with the music and like
Yeah.
and the lighting, it was just so great. Someone said Terrence Howard in the AVA. Next time, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I do not think Deadpool will show up, but you never know.
No,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Y'all hear the rumor about Quake? The Marvels? The Quake will be in the
Quake would
Marvels?
fit
Yeah.
perfectly in the Marvels though. Like that
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
vibe. Yeah,
Yo, yeah,
she was
that
so
would be
dope.
so funny. I swear to God, if Quake is in the Marvel, I'm going to jump up in the screen and freak out.
Yeah, we gotta invite what's his name? He's Parmesan Man now. Before he was something Kilo. We gotta get him on here. Be like, dude, you were right the entire time. We don't know.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining this episode. Appreciate you being on Toyin. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at I'm Toying, IMTOYING. Over there, I just like, have some cosplays, some nerdy stuff. And then also the podcast I co host is Religiously Nerdy, and you can find them on Instagram at Religiously Nerdy. And Twitter is Three Muslim Nerds over there. And that's basically it. Yeah.
Is it
I
three
do
Muslim
stream
nerds
on
or
Twitch
three
sometimes.
Muslim blurs? I don't remember.
Three Muslim Nerds.
Nerds. Okay, okay, got it.
No
All right,
blurs in there
all
on
right.
Twitter. But that's like it's a religiously nerdy
Okay,
podcast that we have and blog and website and things like that. Yeah.
got it. All right. Well, thank you very much. And guys, please go follow Toyin. And that's all we got for this episode. And Toyin, send us your address. We'll send you a hat. And
Yay.
that's all we got for this episode. Until next time, guys. Salaam, nerds.